Hey there! Have you noticed the beautiful and intricate wooden swings overseeing West Virginia's landscapes? Have you wondered how they got there and who built them? And how math played a common factor in their creation? Let's go see if we can find some help! In our world, math is all around us. When we unite with numeracy, we discover the common factor that brings us all together.
Holy cow, Tim, are you okay?
Yes, Alex, is that you? Where am I?
Tim, you're at the Nicholas County Career and Technical Center.
Wait a minute. The Almost Heaven swings? Are they created here?
That's exactly right, Tim. This is where it all happened.
Alex, can you talk to me about the creation of swings from conception to reality?
I sure can, Tim. Come with me. So it all started with the Department of Tourism, and they wanted to create these awesome swings that would be put at iconic vistas throughout West Virginia to drive up tourism. And when it came time to actually build them, well, they called us.
Wow, that is fascinating. Had to involve a lot of CTE programs of study.
Oh, it sure did. It started with graphic design, who was in charge of the overall aesthetics of the swing, and then it got kicked over to welding, who welded together the headers that you can see where the tops of the swings are connected, and then also to create the frames where the selfie signs are, and these are at each one of the locations. Then it went to carpentry, who was of course responsible for all of the woodwork and all of the final assembly. But we also relied on our engineering program that did the laser engraving of the Almost Heaven logo, as well as all the finishing work on the swings themselves.
Wow, that is fascinating. And just looking at these, there had to be a lot of math involved.
Oh yeah, that's the cool thing about CTE is there's all kinds of math and we get to teach it in context. But for more on that, we'd have to talk to our math teacher, Brian McPherson. I think I saw him over in the wood shop.
Yeah, let's go find him.
Let's go. All right, Tim, so we're here with Brian. He's our embedded math teacher here in Nicholas County, and he can walk you through all the math with the Almost Heaven swings.
Hey Brian, good to see you.
Hi, Tim.
So I got to hear about the creation of the Almost Heaven swings. I'm really curious to hear more about either the math involved in the creation or installation of those swings.
Sure, Tim. Let's talk about the concrete involved in the installation of the swings and all the math that we can incorporate into that.
Awesome, I'd love to hear about it. I wonder which mathematical habits of mind are going to apply in this next activity. Pay attention to this next segment to see if you can identify which mathematical habits of mind apply and why.
Tim, in order to install these swings, we got to auger a hole into the dirt. And at the surface, that creates a circle. But the three-dimensional figure is actually a cylinder that has to be buried to a depth of 36, and the hole has to have a radius of 12 inches.
And so in order to fill that hole with concrete, we need to calculate the volume of that cylinder. So once we do that, we find our inches cubed. Are we done?
Unfortunately, we still have to convert our cubic inches to cubic feet and then to cubic yards, because that's how they sell concrete.
Wow, so we have to use ratios and proportions in order to convert to those cubic yards. And then once we find that out, are we ready to pour concrete?
I wish we were, Tim, but because of the remoteness of the locations of these swings, we can't get a concrete truck there. So we've got to figure out how many bags of concrete we need in order to fill the holes.
And that's going to cost you some money. So once you calculate those number of bags, you're also involving the cost of the installation of these swings. So we're talking about the number of inches involved and the cylinder that's created, calculating that volume, using ratios and proportions to convert to cubic yards, and then cost. There's so much math involved in the installation of these Almost Heaven swings. Which mathematical habit of mind do you think applied? For me, it was mathematical habit of mind too, reason abstractly and quantitatively. There was an idea to create and build these swings and place them all across the state. Well, to do that, we had to look at numbers, we had to use mathematics to help us figure out how much concrete we needed and the tools we needed to build the swings. Now, they're all over the state of West Virginia. Others that I thought apply are mathematical habit of mind 4, model with mathematics, and mathematical habit of mind 6, attend to precision. You may have thought of others. I want to thank our guests, Alex and Brian, for joining us today, and thank the Nicholas County Career and Technical Center for their efforts to keep West Virginia wild and wonderful. As you can see, the mathematical habits of mind are used and applied in beautiful ways. Everyone is a mathematician. Join us next time as we continue to explore the connections between math and the world around us. We are all math people when we nurture our skills and recognize the common factors. Let's unite with numeracy.